What is going on, Battlefield players? Welcome to my Armored Kill review. So I have been playing Armored Kill on the PS3 since it first came out, and now I feel that I know enough about the DLC and the maps that I can make a very proper review that's not based on assumptions and all these other things if I just went into a game and played for about an hour. And we're going to be covering a few topics here that revolve around gameplay, maps, vehicles, and a few other things like personal opinions and just an overall conclusion of how Armored Kill is running on the consoles. So let's go ahead and jump right into the review and talk about the gameplay of Armored Kill. So I've been getting asked a lot, how does it play on 24 with 24 players? You know, how is the gameplay with 24 players? Now the best way I could really answer this question is putting it on a scale. If 0 was 24 players is awful, it absolutely sucks, and 10 being 24 players is perfect on every single map in Armored Kill, I would honestly have to say it's about a 5. Now the big reason I say it's a 5 is because I've been playing PC for months, and it was just a big shocker just going back, even playing maps like Operation Firestorm, but that's a big reason it's a 5. And I'm sure players that have been only playing consoles and haven't really played 64 players, they won't have such a low score for how it works with only 24 players because they're more used to it than I was when I went back. But there is a lot of very, very easy solutions for this, for the lack of players, and that's just, you gotta find your own action, you need to play the objective, you need to be on the attack a lot, and then you won't have nearly as big of a problem if you're just wandering around doing nothing, messing around. Then yes, then I could agree you could really have some bad times and be bored a lot. But if you're really aggressive, you go for flags, you do all these things, it's really not that bad at all. So basically that is my answer to how it plays with 24 players. I know a lot of people were asking me that. And some other gameplay is tank superiority. That is a lot of fun. I mean, tank superiority is my far the best game mode they have added with these DLCs. I wasn't a big fan of Gunmaster, but tank superiority is very awesome. It's insane. You are sometimes left in the base waiting for a tank to spawn, but other than that, they spawn really fast and you can get straight into the battle, and then it's just this huge clusterfuck of tanks, and it's just intense. So you really have to experience that part for yourself to really get a better understanding. And obviously you can play that like an artillery, sit in the back with the tank and just shoot, but I prefer just to go balls to the wall and try and get as many kills as I can before I die, but usually don't last very long. Alright, so let's go and move on to the maps. So from my favorite to least favorite, it goes Bandar Desert, Alborz Mountains, Armored Shield, and Death Valley. So let's go over and cover some of these maps right here. Bandar Desert is my favorite because it has an amazing layout. This map is awesome. It has some of the most stunning visuals I've seen on any map. The sky like lights up purple and pink on some spots. It's just epic as hell. And the layout's really nice. It has like a linear base to base with this like hotel resort in the middle, and then this beachfront, and then in the very outskirts there's a artillery base, and that adds a whole new, you know, point of attack. So whatever team has that base will be able to flank from the desert side, and that adds to very, very interesting gameplay, and that is by far my favorite. Also, I'm a sucker for desert maps. Ever since Modern Combat, that game had like 7 desert maps, so just always been a sucker for that. Now, number 2, my second favorite map is Alborz Mountains, and one of the biggest reasons I'm a big fan of this map now is just because it's the most diverse map in Battlefield. I mean, you don't have any other map with snow in Battlefield 3, so just the fact that it's a snow map makes it extra epic, but there are some issues with it, like the fact that it's packed with mountains everywhere does make it the worst map to be on ground. I mean, you have a better chance to just commit suicide and go spawn somewhere than just try and make a run for it, because the elevation of the mountains only makes the traveling that much longer. So a lot of people thought Armor Shield was going to be a lot like Caspian Border, but I would say it's really not like Caspian Border at all. It's extremely flat. It's very similar to heavy metal, but with more barns and farms and stuff, or even what's it called, the Harvest Day from Battlefield Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2. That is what it's more like. Caspian Border is more of a forest. This is more of a, I don't even know, like a farm. So it's extremely flat. There are no jets on the map. Oh yeah, let me go back here a little bit. Bandar Desert has this is for console. PC is gonna have like every single vehicle on every map, but for console, Bandar Desert does not have a scout bird, but it has attack helicopters, tanks, mobile AA or mobile artillery, and it has jets. Albor's Mountains has no mini birds and it has jets. Armored Shield has no jets. That's why it makes it an epic helicopter map. There are no jets. There is a mobile AA, so that kind of replaces the jets. And the fact of no jets, you can get some serious helicopter gameplay there, but you will have the problem of a wide open land, so not a lot of places to hide behind, which causes a lot of locking on. Alright, let's move on to the last map, which by far is not the worst map. It's just my least favorite map because it's dark, and I'm not a big fan of dark maps, especially on consoles. The problem with this map on consoles is that because the consoles don't have a lot of shadow, like shaders, it doesn't look like a dark night map. It looks more of a foggy night. And for example, I remember the first time I played Tehran Highway on the PC, and it looks so much different just because they can add so many more lights in there and a bunch of stuff to make it look like a more realistic night map than just kind of like a one shade dark map. So that's a big reason too. There's no attack helicopters on there, but the darkness, or however dark it is, it does add some pretty awesome visuals. Does definitely add some pretty awesome visuals because you just see explosions everywhere. When the AC-130 pops its flares, it looks epic as hell. So those are the maps in order for me. And why don't we go ahead and move on to the vehicles. So first of all, we'll start off with the attack helicopter. And you know the patch, I made a video about the patch and how it's the flares are gone, so whatever, you can deal with that. You do die a lot more, there's no doubt about it. I have been, you know, sometimes I'm still in the what's it called, the mindset of being like telling my gunner flare, 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 and then I'm like, shit, there are no flares, and boom, stinger hits you. You're either, a lot of times now you just die one hit from a stinger, or you get disabled and you're at like 10% health. So you can adapt to it. You just need to be able to run away a lot more. But the part that really pisses me off is the fact that helicopters now don't work with below radar for stingers. So if they took off the stairs and kept below radar, if they took off the flares and kept below radar, then that wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But the fact that they took off the below radar, that's, you know, it can still, below radar will work against like a helicopter or jet helicopter combo thing like that, but stingers are still going to be locked on below radar. And that's kind of stupid in my opinion, because I think if you're at below radar, you have to be underneath 25 meters, and by that point you can easily shoot a helicopter out of the sky with an RPG. And that was DICE's whole idea. You know, if a pilot's willing to fly low to the ground and risk himself flying low and risk being in an easy shot for any type of non-lock-on rocket, then that's just how it should have played out. But that's how it is. Either way, let's just ignore those things, and just general helicopter gameplay on Armored Kill is outstanding. Really, like I said, I enjoy flying on Albor's Mountain. It's probably one of the best maps to fly in because there are a lot of mountains to hide behind. So even though if you are getting locked on, you can run away a lot easier than the other maps take, for example, Operation or Armored Shield. Yeah. So that's how the helicopters are. You can still do damage, lots of tanks to hit, and the mobile AAs are extremely easy to just destroy. Those things are like sitting ducks, and we're actually going to talk about them right now because they are powerful. You know, they can do some serious damage to infantry and tanks, but dude, they are such a just sitting duck on the battlefield. I haven't had a problem with a single one, and then they try and run away, and 90% of the times they're just going to bail out and try and make a run for it. So that's basically the mobile AA. I haven't got a chance to use it a lot, but I know it is powerful because I've been in a tank and got smacked by it. But then my tank, I just ran and destroyed it. Quad bike, extremely fast and can get some serious air. mean, that I made a really fast review, like comparison video of the quad bike compared to Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, and I mean, this one is just so fast, and it must be lighter or something, I don't know, because you can fly with it. Alright, so tank destroyers are essentially an LAV but with a main battle tank cannon. So it's not a big difference in terms of damage, but it does move a lot faster and can carry up to 6 people. But it does have less armor. So that's basically what a tank destroyer is. You do get some new unlocks for it, but essentially it's just a LAV with a main battle tank cannon. And every Armored Kill map basically has them. There's not a lot of main battle tanks in the Armored Kill maps. They're mostly just tank destroyers. As for the AC-130, it is powerful. Obviously, the main cannon of the AC-130 is extremely powerful, but it has some of the worst defense mechanisms I've ever seen. It literally gets destroyed in like 5 seconds, and I'm gonna make a cool little video about that real soon too. It's almost just ridiculous how easy that thing gets owned, and you may think otherwise, but trust me, once you play it and you get in a jet, you take that thing out with one freaking run past it. And I guess that's a good thing. It could be a bad thing, I don't know, but we'll cover that in some other videos as well. So that's basically all of the vehicles. I know I ranted a lot and talked a lot, but I just wanted to do a quick review for you guys, give you guys my personal opinions. Not a very structured review, not professional, just me talking and talking. And overall, I think that the console version of Armored Kill is excellent, especially for any type of vehicle lovers. For ground, which I know it's not meant for, it's just really bad. You probably gonna have a better time just suiciding and going into a vehicle at the home base than trying to make a run for it somewhere. Bandar Desert, the main strip hotel part, does have some pretty epic ground gameplay, so that place is good, and that's how they designed it, because one side of the map's like huge open land, the other one's compact little hotel room. So basically, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would have to say about a 9 out of 10, just because it's an extremely awesome DLC, but with some problems that I personally have an issue with. So some people may think it's a 10 out of 10, some people may think it's 0 out of 10, but I'm rating it down a little bit, but mostly because of what the DLC brought with that patch. But that's going to conclude this review, you guys. So thank you a lot for watching. Take care, stay tuned, because I got a lot more Armored Kill stuff coming up. Peace.